Here with North Dakota State men's basketball coach David Richman, the Bison going into the final weekend of Summit League play with a pair of home games against South Dakota State and Omaha to wrap things up before we get tournament play started. And first of all, Dave, a tough road trip going to South Dakota. Knew it was going to be tough to go down there. Your guys were able to tough that one out, and then having to come back a couple of days later and get ready for another rival in North Dakota. You knew it was going to be a tough road trip.
Yeah, we talked about it as a group, as a staff. The deck was stacked against us a little bit, but also in a weird kind of weird way. You kind of like that. You appreciate that, especially this time of year, because that adversity challenges you. That adversity puts you in some compromising situations, and that's what you want. You want to be tested as you prepare for March, and we certainly were. Very pleased with the effort and obviously the outcome at USD. I didn't think we had our best effort at North Dakota. I don't think I coached my best game. All that being said, if we use this the right way, it can be a great learning lesson for us as we go into an important week, an important stretch for us.
It is an important week, and I think as a coach, this is all you can ask for, is an opportunity to play for a conference championship in the regular season with 2 home games on your floor. You know what's in front of you. Your guys know what's in front of you, so it comes down to just executing and getting it done, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, I'm extremely pleased to be in this position. Just really happy for our guys, Brian. And what I mean by that, there was a lot of expectations on this group, and they've handled those expectations after maybe a little bit of a rough start. You go back, and I don't know how many games, you probably know a little bit better than I are, 3-4 games without 2 of our key guys, another 2 or 3 games without another key guy. And really, just a credit to our whole group, the Jackson Notex, Malik Harden-Hayes, Tyler Witz for keeping this thing together and then getting healthy and going on that 7-game stretch to put us in this position to be exactly, to your point, where you want to be. It's 1 versus 2 this week, and it's also a special week because there's 4 great seniors that we're going to send out.
How tough is that with this group, only because of what you've experienced? Vinny's been here a short time, but has made a tremendous impact. Jared and Tyson have been here the whole time. Chris Quayle has been here a good chunk of time. It's been a special group from the standpoint, I think you've really seen the growth of all those guys on and off the floor.
Oh, 100%. And I think that's what's big. And we as a program get judged on wins and losses, and, been fortunate to take care of business and win plenty of games. But it's those other experiences, to see those young men grow as men, to know all 4 of them are going to have, in May, are going to have their college degrees. And Chris Quayle already has his and working on an MBA. That's really special. And again, along the way, they already have 1 NCAA tournament ring, and they put themselves in a great position to be back there. And again, I think, for the fans, they see them for 40 minutes, 30 sometimes a year. I get to spend a lot of time with them. I get to spend more time with them in a lot of ways than I do my family. And it's a really special group for Tyson and Jared to finish what they start. The impact that we all know that Vinny's had on myself, this program, this community is immeasurable. And then Chris Quayle, I'm glad we got to see a little bit of a healthy version of Chris this year, and he's had some really good games for us.
At this point of the year, you are what you are in a lot of ways, but you're still trying to sharpen things up. Are there certain things you focus on a little bit more at this time of the year than others?
Always, and that's where I'm careful, but I understand the character in our room, in our locker room. I've pushed these guys really hard, Brian, because, as much as it was a disappointing loss on Saturday, I could kind of see some things coming a little bit, that we weren't playing our best brand of basketball. And that's pretty good. It's pretty good when you win 7 straight and you feel like there's a better version out there too. And, I didn't like that it had to come to this, like a loss, to maybe sharpen some things, but I think maybe in the grand scheme of things, that can be good for us. And we'll see. We'll see how we respond this week in practice, and we'll see how we respond in some games. But, there's that new movie, The Ford versus Ferrari, out there, and it's got some great quotes in there. And I think, there's a perfect lap out there in a race car for a race car driver. There's a perfect game out there for a coach, and it's a fine line to not push them too hard. But I see that perfect game, and that's my vision. And as we prepare for the game, like you and I were talking about off air, I'm gonna keep working and pushing these guys because I know they want it as well.
We're more Ford than Ferraris, you and I would have to say.
Come on, give us some credit here. We are North Dakota, blue-collar community. We'll rock those Fords.
All right, Dave, wish you the best of luck this weekend.
Thank you, Brian.